Good morning, everybody. This is November the 30th of 2024. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days since I did any work on that D6, splitting the track and whatnot, but today is the day. We're going to get after pulling the track frame out from underneath it and hopefully get that rolled upside down. Moving past the case here and walking up to the machine. The actual machine is actually leaning a little bit that way, left. But as you can see, the front roller, idler, is leaning a little harder. So I think there's a situation there with the, what do you call them, the shims that align that roller, so that has to be pulled out. Probably the first thing I'm going to do, pull that roller out. Coming up ahead, this very first pedestal here with the upper roller, gonna have to remove it, and then we'll get some jacks underneath that main spring and some blocks. We'll jack that spring up. Well, we'll jack the weight off it, but then I do believe, if I remember right, this here body here, I'm going to pull that pin, screw that pin right out of the spring, and then that body or pedestal area there for the big pin will come off of the track frame. And so when I pull the track frame this way, it'll just miss everything. So I just got to have that spring jacked up 1 inch or so. A little bit further back, got to clean the dirt off. Thank goodness it's above zero here. I don't know if you can hear the water running off the roof over here. There are 4 bolts to take this cage off the track frame. And then underneath, gonna have to get underneath there with the impact, and there's 4 bolts that take the cap off the diagonal brace, and that'll allow that to drop down. Hopefully when I jack up the bottom here, I'm gonna jack it up and put blocks underneath this part of the drawbar. Have this side, I gotta come up 3 inches for sure just to get the sprocket out of the chain. So anyway, we're going to get ourselves all lined up here and start taking this apart. Taking a look at these upper rollers, just a quick assessment. This one here is tight, rolls around, and I can feel some nice resistance of whatever that grease is, 00 grease or corn grease or whatever they call it, which is basically a pretty thin, oily grease. Well, it does have some end play, but it's tight on the bearing. This one is a different story. It has a little up and down movement, same end play, and I can feel a good resistance. So with that grease in there, I don't have that double knot grease, so I'm just gonna squirt through these Olamite fittings, just regular grease. I don't know, right or wrong, that's what we're gonna do. Moving over to the front idler, to get this idler assembly off, there's 4 bolts here on the I don't know what you'd call them, the arms, the braces. So just got to pull them out, and then this should all slide that way. Boy, I'm glad I got an impact finally. Normally, up until last year, I'd be wrenching those back with a ratchet. Those 4 bolts are out. Now, if I get a bar, that should slide up ahead and come right off of there, and then I'll either use the forklift or the case, pull it out of the road for now. I couldn't really remember from the other side, and I thought it would just come straight forward, of which it should have. I didn't have to take these bolts right out of there. This pin is missing, which would have went in and trapped it in there. But anyway, live and learn. My memory ain't what it used to be. Okay, what keeps that front idler aligned with like the square, keeping it square with the track frame is a series of these. These here are rubber coated springs. There's a set of 4, 2 on each side. These 2 here just fell out of the main bodies of the idler when I pulled it ahead, but they can get stuff back in there. And they just hold a wear plate in line. Somewhere along the line, somebody has rebuilt the track frame up. They put this square or flat iron stock down, but these wear plates are getting a little bit thin. I might just get another strap of thin material and just weld it to the bottom of that, pick these up somewhat. But I believe down here, where these, you can hear them rattling both sides, there's a set of wear plates down there too, and they are very thin on the area where the idler was traveling. And I think one side thinner than the other, so I think the same story there is I'll have to, we'll have to remove those, that flat iron stock, just get some new stock and reattach it. I think these are actually, yeah, they're well, for now, they're some kind of rivet. I think they were like a countersunk bolt of some sort that went in there. Maybe they're always rivets. I'll have to check on it. But anyway, so that'll solve my issue there. That'll square that idler back up to the frame. So, okay, let's just move this on and on to the next step. Boy, this side is coming apart so far, way nicer than the other side. So I believe I broke off at least one of those pedestal bolts. Anyway, this here spring is slid over, and I don't think I can get my sock. Oh no, I can. There's the bolts out of the pedestal. Doesn't look that heavy, but it's got some weight to it, and it's kind of cumbersome. I got to get I got to get a scraper and clean that dirt out of there. And I'm pretty sure that pedestal lifts out of there, but I might be wrong. It's above zero today, so I brought out my garden hose, and I'm just going to go ahead and rinse this here whole thing down so I can see where the nuts and bolts are and where I need to cut with the welder. Okay, I think that's enough washing for now, just to get this track frame out of there. I'm pretty sure everybody's tired of watching me wash the track frame. So we're going to call her good. At least I can see where the fasteners are and where I got to cut with the torque. Oh, that was a lot of threads. That indicates right there all that grease. That's why I can't screw it in any further. It's packed full of grease, so we'll have to stick something in there and pull out all that excess grease when we go back together. There, that side's off. I see there's some cracking going on here and here, down in here. So there's a little bit of repair to be done to the frame. This is just the webbing, you know, the whole mount all this other kind of stuff in, but just the same, it's gonna have to be welded. It's been welded probably 3 or 4 times there, for Christ's sake. Okay, I need to get the blue wrench, and I'm gonna cut it off and get rid of this here pedestal. It's better if you cut all the welds off. I wonder if these 4 bolts are going to come off that easy. Well, battery's apparently dead, and they don't look like they're going to break that easy. Well, there's all 4 of them bolts come out, and I couldn't get it with the impact, so got the blue wrench out again. Just sliced the heads off them, all 4, pounded them into the inside of the track frame, and there they are. They're just regular track bolts, and I got lots of them. Okay, underneath the machine here, I got to take off these 4 bolts to release the diagonal brace, wishbone, whatever you want to call it, from the dead shaft that goes across the bottom of the machine here. So I don't know how I'm going to break that. There's not much room for a purchase. So I'm going to have to get up, I guess, and put my foot on the bar and see if I can break that bolt. That seems to have done the trick. So I just got to remove this one and do it 3 more times. Well, number 4 was the softest break, and it's finally on the way out. There's that one. Now we can just, yeah, here's our cap coming down. So that is freed up in that area. So now we just got to get the jacks out. I'm going to jack up the back and jack up the big spring, and it should be free and clear of the tractor. She's a tough way to make a living. Not that I'm making a living at it, I'm just doing it for the hell of it. I think this is a 30-ton jack, maybe it's a 35, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Used to have it when I did a lot of oil field trucking. But at any rate, it'll have no problem lifting this, well, half the cat anyway. Okay, we got the jack underneath our main spring. So we'll just jack it up so it's an inch or 2 above the track frame, and that should be good enough. She's fully off of there now, so I'm just going to get some blocks lined up. Have that at the ready. These 2x10s are a little too wide, so we'll make them 2x5. There. That'll work better. Okay, as you can see, right here, there's well, at least an inch, inch and a half gap between the spring and the main frame. So we'll pull my jack out. Well, that was way easier than the other side. She's released off of there. So now, I think it's a matter of getting the case going. And I'll pull the front where the idler was out off to the side so the spring clears it. Okay, we got that frame removed from the bottom of that tractor. Look at how that chain just disappears over toward the back of the cat there. That is so worn out there. You can almost wind that chain up sideways like a clock spring. The only thing stopping it probably is the pads are interfering, so that is worn out. But I took a quick look here on the rollers already. And yeah, they're not in the best of shape for sure. But I think this one here, if I can get in here and muscle it, that's the one that's worn out and loose. The other ones are still tight. They got a nice resistance in the oil and they don't wobble or make a noise or anything. So we're not going to be doing anything with any of them except this here, number 2 from the front. And it's going to be a lot of work. All these bolts here from my previous experience, I might be surprised, but all the bolts to hold the track guard in, they're going to break off. And it has to come off to replace that roller. Yeah, that's the way that is. At any rate, that's the end of the day for me and the case. It just ran out of gas. So it's down, so I guess we're done. But anyway, that's that track frame out, and this is going to be the end of this video. The next video is going to be breaking all them bolts and replacing that roller, and then I got another chain down at the bottom for a D6. It's just for one side. I don't have enough chain to do both sides, but I'm going to take a look at that and maybe invite myself in for some more work there, pulling pads and putting them on that other chain. But we'll see. I'll have to check that out. So anyway, all we got for now. We'll catch up to you later.